Nice to be here. What's up, LC? Nice to be among you lots. Let's all enjoy our leisure while it lasts, because it will come to a point where the chat will be so loaded. I will not see your comments. I mean, I will remember you guys. Maybe you will be members and you will have a special color so that I will be able to see you guys. But yeah. Yeah. That's the thing. Yeah, that's true. It is great to enjoy those things while it is this way, because there's a point where it just explodes into some craziness. And then, listen, you just need 5 times the amount of people, and the chat becomes hard to read. Like, as long as you have 25 people in the chat, yeah, it's kind of easy. Once you arrive to 100 people, it starts. If everybody's active, if people are debating between themselves in the chat, that's when it becomes crazy. And I've seen a lot of, I follow a lot of people that they have like 1,000 people watching at the same time, and the chat is just unusable. The only people that actually are seen are the people who put super chats on those type of lives. And this is great in a way, because every live you do can generate, just in super chats, something like 3,000, 4,500 euros, and maybe more. Like, oh, what about time? Like this girl that I follow, that I've been following for a long time, she has like 10,000 people in her chat when she's live, and they're super chatting like crazy, because they know the only way to be seen is to super chat, and your super chat stays up there. If you put like, let's say $10, it will just stay there for 1 minute. And if you really want to stay there for 20 minutes, you have to put like 200, 300, 500, and you stay there for an hour on the top of the chat. And she has people that every live, there's somebody putting like 500, 300, 100, 50. There's a bunch of 50 coming from everywhere, and people that just want to support the her show. And that's amazing, because I've been watching her since her name is Lovely T. I've been watching her since I was in France. So I was in France. I left France 11 years ago. So I've been watching her since probably like at least 2 years before leaving France, and maybe more. So at least for 13, 14 years, she was one of the first person doing live streams. And I remember 13 years ago, when she was live, and I would comment, and I would be like, hey, hi T, and she would reply to me, hey Kaysha, how you doing? Nice to see you. You know, I was like, hey, Kaysha's from France. France, I have to go one day, etc. And at that time, her chat was like this chat. Like, it was just us, like 50 people. You know, it was really like the early days of being live on YouTube. And now, when you go to her thing, she has like 8,000, 9,000 people watching at the same time. And the chat is just going, and you can see nothing unless you have moderators that are maybe checking contents, and you need to have like 4, 5, 10 moderators in the chat. So maybe at that time you guys will all be moderators and making sure that all the new people behave. No, that's interesting. I kind of, the thing is this, with me, it's a complete different story, because in the contrary to a lot of people who are doing a live stream or a podcast, aiming for a quick success, and then they abandon quick because they don't make money, etc. Me, it's part of a broader thing. I believe that everything I do is in synergy with everything else. So this show might not generate me direct income, but first of all, it's an avenue where I can speak, because I get frustrated in interviews because I never get interesting questions. And so I can really talk about the things I want to talk about for the time I want on my own platform. And it helps also repurpose all this content for all these different platforms. And people are actually, a lot of DMs that I receive are people telling me how valuable every masterclass is for them. For them, Club Shada is a masterclass. And the things that I say are very insightful to a lot of people. I received another message from a DJ last time who told me that, and a beat maker told me that as well, that he just watched, I don't remember what episode of Club Shada, but he said, this just changed my life. Like, I've been working on like 5% of the things I could do when you just explained to me the 95% of other things that I could do. And I was like, wow, that's beautiful. That's wow. So there's this part, and it's great for the brand. It's some soft power brand moves that every time I'm here, the presence of my brand, it helps Shadaware, it helps the music, it helps everything. And people listening to me on Club Shada are now starting to invite me in conferences to speak about those subjects, because they can see that I know what I'm talking about. And even if when it's something that I don't know about, I know how to talk about things. So it's very interesting. And so me, I'm on a very, very long term with this. And do I wish to have more people watching? Yes, I would love to do let's say 20x, like having always like 200 people watching at the same time, and doing, at a point that would be cool. And at the same time, I enjoy it like this, because for me, I see the live that we are doing and it's less distracting, first of all, when there's an intimate number of people. And to me, I see it more as a recording, that I'm recording content that I'm gonna then cut and upload to YouTube, like I've been doing. Like, if you go to the channel, every time I do a Club Shada episode, I cut it into 3-4 different videos that I repurpose on Instagram, repurpose on YouTube, repurpose on TikTok and Facebook. So it's something I said to people, when you do a live and you have a channel and you feel like nobody's watching. Let's say you look, and I have a number here that tells me how many people exactly are watching. So if you look at these numbers, sometimes you can be like, oh my God, like imagine there's nobody watching for whatever reason. Nobody received their notification, or nobody's online, or who knows, for whatever reason. If you end up in this point where nobody's watching, and so you're speaking to 0 people, don't say to yourself, don't get destabilized and being like, oh my God, nobody's watching. Say to yourself, I'm just recording something for the people who are gonna watch tomorrow. Because every Club Shada episode, at the end of the show, I have around from the people in the chat and the people who are just watching without being on the chat, or there's some people that are watching without being logged into YouTube, or watching from their TVs. Like, you have around 250 people watching on live. And then the next day, when I watch the numbers, the next day at the end of the day, so it's not the next day, so today it's midnight right now, it's 1 a.m. now, but in 19 hours, when I watch at 8 p.m. and I watch the numbers, I'm already around 400, 500 other people there's a lot of people who watch the show, but not live. They just play it after. There's a lot of people who are discovering the show now, who are telling me that, oh, I've just discovered you at episode 292, and I just started watching episode 1, and I'm watching them one by one. And I'm like, what? But I just got that message last week. Somebody was telling me, oh, my friend is watching every Club Shada episode from the start. And I was like, wow, why? I was like, no, listen, it's fascinated, he loves, and then you have so many different episodes talking about so many different things that some people will watch some episodes and some other episodes, and then you see the numbers. Like, it's not just that's the beauty of evergreen content. It's not just the people that are watching now and the people that are gonna watch tomorrow. It's also the people are gonna watch next week and the people that are gonna watch in a year. Because as you put content, YouTube and the algorithm propose to people, and then sometimes they just go to the channel and they watch stuff. So, and I realize that's the same thing I do with podcasts. Most of the podcasts that I listen to are either French political, French societal thing, hip hop podcast, musical American podcast, or technology, crypto, Mac, these type of content. So I'm subscribed to more or less 10, 12 podcasts that I listen to when I go walk, when I go, if I'm in a plane, or if I'm in a car, or if I'm just, or sometimes at home on YouTube and I'm watching. And I have a list of the podcasts that I listen to. Some of them are just 5 minutes. So let's say I'm going to take a shower and I'm going to stay in the shower. Let's say I want to take a long shower or a bath, and I know I'm going to be like 45 minutes in my bathroom. The one that is 5 minutes, I'm just going to play them, all of them, all the episodes. So I have one, for example, called Geopolitics. It's in French. I think it's from France Inter. And every episode is 3 minutes. So I just put play before I enter the bath or the shower, and I just let it play in the bathroom. And I play like all the episodes, and sometimes I miss like 10 episodes. When it comes to tech podcast or the Joe Budden podcast, for example, those are podcasts that last around 2 hours, 2 hours and a half every episode. So usually what I do is, instead of listening to the latest one, I'm going to go and check which is the one that I didn't listen to. So sometimes I'm 3-4 episodes late. So I'm going to go to the fourth first. I'm going to play it. Or I'm going to play a part that I'm interested in. And then, or I'm going to play it completely as I'm walking. And when I'm done listening, I erase it. And then I play the next one. That's really how I consume content. And from my way of consuming content, I understand how a lot of people is consuming content too. And this is why, if you are in the content business, don't get don't get blocked by the fact that nobody's watching you now or something, because you are just creating content that is going to stay. A lot of the most famous Twitch streamers, I'm talking about people, they stream for 1 million people watching. They said that for years they were streaming for nobody. Not like a few people, 0 people. They were just streaming for the 0 people for years and years and years, until at a point there was 1 person, then 2, then 10, then 20, then 100, and so on and so on. So that's to me the beauty of, creating content, and that's the way I see it when I'm creating by myself. And I look like, because I used to do content pre-recorded, not live. So I would just record the same way, but it would just be not to be consumed live like right now. It would just be recorded, and I would just record myself and then I would put it out. The problem with when I was pre-recording is that then I would cut a lot of things because I wanted it to be like perfect. So I would remove all the I don't, like sometimes when you're looking for what you're gonna say, I would remove all that when it's pre-recorded. But when it's live, actually, it helps you just better the way you deliver the content and your thoughts, and at the same time to also accept some of your flaws. Sometimes you're gonna make grammar mistakes, and when I watch the replays, because I love to watch my episodes. When I watch the replays, sometimes I'm like, oh my god, like I forgot the S in this, or I didn't conjugate that verb right, or oh damn, I didn't pronounce this right, like, but the exercise of being live twice a week makes you, I would say, accept the way you talk, the way you look, and it makes you style conscious. It makes you conscious of a lot of things, and it actually makes you better in a lot of things. So it's a great exercise. And the fact that my music and my NFT are generating money all the time makes me do this comfortably without having the idea that I have to succeed, I have to do something. So you can really do it for it. And when you do it for it, the success is just something that just arrives like that. It's not something that you fight for, and you just do your job, and you do it well for the people that are watching. And then you let these people, you guys, be responsible of bringing more people, watching it with people. When it's live, send links to other people, etc., etc., etc.